And I'm going to remember to switch my view. It's possible we would do one later if that's what people want, but I am not, I don't particularly care for M19, and I'm not looking to play it. And also, when the free-to-play account does have a gem grind situation like we do right now, I think we should take advantage of it and play the thing where we can grind some gems. So nobody's picking the Verity Circle, but I'm likely to. This is 20 gems. Gates Ablaze is probably the place I would start if I'm picking for power here. Well, my free-to-play account has more cards because we play always on the free-to-play account when we can. The goal is to draft once a day on stream on the free-to-play account. And historically, once we've gotten that one draft in on the free-to-play account, we've taken any next drafts over to the paid account. But I think I may switch that and just start playing free-to-play all the time until it's drained of resources, and then we'll see where we're at. But this account has only ever spent $5. If you want to look at the full history of its play, you can look at the spreadsheet where I've documented every game I've played on this account. But we've had a really great season in terms of Ravnica Allegiance, and so we've really been able to push up our gem stores despite being a free-to-play account. And yeah, the paid account, I paid $100, but that was at the beginning of open beta, and I didn't even start streaming until that total was down to like 15,000 gems. So we haven't spent a lot of gems, a lot of money on any of the streamed play. Oh, yeah, everybody wants Gates Ablaze, and I do too. I'm trying to decide if I have the discipline. I do. I have the discipline to take the gems and ignore that powerful card. And it makes us sad because now we have the Gatebreaker Ram. We can still take the Ram or the Law Mage's Binding. It's the Ram. Yep. Pick up the Ram. Here's a Colossus to go along with that. So we're heading, starting right out in the gate path. If we had not rare drafted, we would have 3 for 3 on gate payoffs to start the draft. Now we actually have to make a non-gate pick. So there's a Grasping Thrall is probably the best card in the pack. A Rakdos Guild Gate that doesn't match the Ram, but is at least a gate. A Savant is okay. Resolute Watchdog is okay. Slimebind is maybe the... Slimebind and Thrall are probably the best cards here. Looks like some support for the Thrall and the gate. With that gate start, I really think we are pretty heavy gate. Like this is quite an incentive to go gates, so I'm going to take the gate here. Oh yeah, I didn't look at print run there, sorry. Anybody remember what was in there? What were we looking at an uncommon that we didn't take? Gate was next to... Oh, the shield. Screaming Shield, right? Maybe it was all... I can't remember. Oh yeah, I know they were all there. It was Hackerbat, Shield, and Rumbling Ruin. And all 3 of them were there. Okay. Yeah, Clear the Stage is gone from this pack, but we are going to take Skewer anyway. I think, I mean, so this is where, I don't know, maybe the bots are based on humans, but it surprises me that that someone would take Light the Stage and Limited over Skewer, but we're going to take Skewer. Here's a gate. Again, not exactly where we're at on the gates, but it is a gate we could take. Rendhorn, Pretty Whatever, Windstorm, Drake. Not really important for this deck where we're headed. We're just looking to close out with these that don't need help from something like Windstorm. So probably Rendhorn or Gate. And yeah, I'm with chat. I think this is a gate spot. We're not getting the gates exactly that we want, but snap up another payoff and try to go 5-color gates here. Tough to pass these Thralls. Clearly we could be Orzhov, but I think in this spot we take the Wayfinder since we're looking for gates and payoffs for gates. Well, we look to be somewhat Gruelish in our baseline, so we could pick up a Rubble Belt Runner. I think I like that over the Duelist. Because we have, yeah, our cards, although we do want to be playing blue, so I guess Duelist is acceptable, but I'm going to go with the Runner. I think we're leaning a little more towards the Gruul side of town here. Yuck. This is best of 3, and we are in a gate deck, so I'm going to take Bring to Trial as a sideboard card over this Screaming Shield for Vault Progress and a possible win condition. But we're not trying to mill them out. We want to set up Sneaky Rammy and a Colossus. We want to gate this up, so we're going to take Bring to Trial as a sideboard option. This is a great sign for feeling like we're in base Gruul, so we're finding our seat that way. Gravelhide Goblin appeals to me as a playable Gruul 2-drop, slightly more than these fairly generic, more expensive drops. The Mammoth Spider is the other contending pick here between the Gravelhide and the Spider, and I'm going to lean towards the cheaper card. Expose is another interesting sideboard card. We could take Growth Spiral if we thought, we could still end up in a very teamery situation here. And if we did Teamer Gates, Growth Spiral would play in that. And we may end up splashing something like Expose, but I think I'm going to wait on the Expose. I think it's either Growth Spiral, even the Resolute Watchdog protecting a Ram or a Colossus or whatever that appeals to me, and also does some early defense. Surprised nobody is even on the doggy. I guess it's because we're not white at all, really. But I see us as a heading towards 5-color, maybe. Although I guess I shouldn't think that. Why am I thinking that? Just because we have some gates, like we're really very Gruul. So I'll stick with the Teamer possibility and take the Growth Spiral, even though I don't love it. Thought Collapse versus Mammoth Spider, interesting. I'll take the Mammoth Spider since I feel like we are definitely heavy green and we don't know if we're heavy blue yet. And I'll take the Deface for the board over the Petitioners. Shimmer, well, keep it in the Teamer possibilities here. Here's another Rarity Circle for gems. And what do we give up if we take gems? We have a Law Mage's Binding we could potentially splash. But this really isn't a great pack for our deck. Really, I'd be taking this Gate. I do want this Gate, though. But I think we're in 20 gems versus Gate territory. And when it's versus just a single Gate, I guess it's Binding. Like, you could literally... We could splash Binding, but I'm going to take the gems. I think that's correct. Shark to Crab could jump right in here. And then we like just about anything that wheels from this pack. Want this Gate, but I think Shark to Crab is good enough to take. And Thrash Threat as a rare removal spell we're definitely going to take. Do want this Gate. We'll see if this not taking these gates starts to hurt us, in which case we really have to prioritize them in 3. I think they would tell us Rogue if they updated the bots. And so far we've seen, I think gates just don't wheel reliably anymore. That's been true since the update quite a while ago. Open the Gates, Gate, or Collision Colossus. Collision Colossus is actually likely to wheel, given the disinterest we've seen in Gruul, but also Open the Gates is likely to wheel. So I'm going to take the Collision Colossus over the Biogenic Upgrade and try to wheel something gatey out of that. A gate, we really want to start getting on these gates. We can take a Biomancy, but here's another 20 gems. I'm going to be super greedy, take 20 gems. Here's an Angel to add to our payoffs. And gate is missing, so yeah, pack 3 is going to have to be heavily about gates, or we can just kind of pivot to teamer light gates. Like, you know, the Angel and Sneak really need a heavy gate, but Ram and Colossus don't need a ton of gates to be decent, so we could end up that type of place as well. Looks like there's support for the Dagger Caster. I guess in best of 3, yeah, we should take it, especially because we could board it in against the decks would really punish them. Best of 1, I'm not sure if I make that pick. Best of 3, I think that's correct. Let's go ahead and take an Engineer and look to be Teamer. Full-on Teamer. Yeah, the gates are not here, so we're going to have to like try and pick up playables here and then really push the gates next pack, because they are not here at all. We did get a Gravel Hide back. That's cool. More good 2s for us. Orzhov was wide open. If any of you would have ended up Orzhov, you probably got paid off and have a nice, really nice Orzhov deck. They don't work that way, Alpha Ferg. At least they didn't when I left, and I would be amazed if they found time to get super sophisticated with draft bots in the last year, given everything else they've been doing. The lack of sophistication on the bots is that they don't look at the bots. When I left, didn't see synergy. They only saw power. That's the way to put it. When you say the bots must have taken gates because they took gates ablaze, then you're suggesting that the bots are aware of synergy, and that's just not how it worked when I left. It was one of the problems with the system that we had to decide whether we were going to improve it or not. I guess we'll take a Clear the Mind, just in case. Probably not playing that. All right, so the gates are way gone. We only have 2 gates, but let's be a little more critical of our actual deck. Well, there's some weak cards here for sure. But like, if we took nothing but gates in pack 3, all gates and 2 spells, I think we would end up with a decent deck. No, I'm a little behind today. I had on my to-do list was to write up a bunch of notes about initial thoughts on War of the Sparks stuff, but I didn't even get to that. I think what I'll do is save that for tomorrow. I'll take a little more time to gather my thoughts carefully, and then we'll talk about that tomorrow. Well, I want the gate, but we're going to take Kaya and actually go and craft her. So let's take Kaya and then go home. Hey, thank you for the sub, Fellhammer. I really appreciate that. 3-month resub. Now then, probably have to take this gate, right? We really got to focus on gates here. I would love to try to find a way for a Skyguard to get in this deck, but we need gates, and especially the on-color ones. And we are playing some white, so that counts. This counts for me too as being very interested in it. Gateway Plaza is about as good as we could hope here. We didn't wheel that other Open the Gates, did we? Hopefully we wheel this one. We're going to take Plaza here. Thank you, Fel. Really appreciate that. Good to hear. Definitely Simic Gate. Here's a Skewer we could take. Mendon, appreciate it. Wow, lots of choices here. Probably just another gate. How are we doing on playables? Let's put the gates away for a second, just so we're aware. So we're at 22. And not super happy with everything we've gotten here or anything. Like, I'd like to get away from double blue. So, like, I'd hope to not run this. And really not... Hopefully this isn't a clear the mind deck. So really we want, like, 3 more playables. But I think we've seen the gates just not wheel. So I would rather find playables in whatever we wheel. And really make sure we get our gates going here, or in spots like this, just take what we can get. The spiral might come back around. We'll take admonition here. I was hoping for open the gates, but we'll go ahead and take this. Oh, we're not playing Kaya though. No, you can ask about Owen. You guys can ask anything. If I feel it's too sensitive, I'll just say so. I know nothing about the Owen situation at all, and I don't know if Wizards has said anything else. If they have, I've missed it, so I don't want to speak to that until I've seen that. But in general, I wouldn't want to speak to it at all until I heard officially from Wizards. If someone wants to share with me what Wizards has said about it beyond their tweet or whatever, then I could respond to that. But my basic thought is to not comment on something I know nothing about. And I haven't spoken to Marshall about it, but it wouldn't be my business to share if I had, you know. I have no idea. Yeah, I haven't spoken to Marshall about it at all. So yeah, we need, quote, need 2 drops. I don't know if we need 2 drops. What we need is that Gates Ablaze we traded for gems. That would be a great card in this deck. But still, decisions, not results. I'm still happy with that decision. We didn't know we were going to end up in a gate deck, which is kind of the point of taking the gems, pack 1, pick 1, is that that's where you're least likely to actually end up running whatever power card you take. Yeah, well, I'm going to take another gate here. We have enough gate stuff going on that we really just want them. And here we can take a Slime Bind. That's good. I would like an Expose, but Slime Bind is a much better main deck card. And we can toss in a random Creeper or a Shimmer. If we thought we were blue enough. We might be blue enough. We might be more Simic splashing red, although not really with 2 Gravelhide. I guess it depends on where it ends from here, but this could affect it. Let's look at our curve too. Already got the 1. Yeah, we're okay on 2. I'm going to take the Creeper. We could actually take a final payment, probably. Let's see, if we take that, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 free sources of black, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free sources of white. Unfortunately, some of them are the same source, so it's not like we can cast a final payment off of a guild gate. But I think it's worth going for. A lot of actual real choices here. We can totally play this. All of our payoffs for the gates are creatures, so incubation digs us to creature-based gate payoffs, and Prying Eyes is just extra cards, of course, and Discopa not bad as a sideboard card against aggro. Yeah, we noticed early on in the draft that we were being pulled towards gates, but the other option, kind of the other pull, was towards Orzhov, so it doesn't surprise me at all to see Orzhov free here. That was kind of the other option. All right, we'll take this. And Clear the Mind could set up a... we have the 1. There's something, you know, having 2 Clear the Minds is interesting, because if we ended up against Clear the Mind, we could run them, although Clear the Mind decks have more counter magic, and they would just end up countering our Clear the Mind, so I don't like that as a game plan as much as maybe having the mark available, but we're just splashing whites. We're not really playing the mark. All right, I'll put it in the board, but I think it's dubious as a solution to that kind of thing. And I'll take Portal as a potential board solution to a lot of enchantment-based removal. So a nice 120 gem grind on that one. I like that. Set up my spreadsheet for the day here. Gem grind 120. Yeah, tougher to get gates these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gates, and not really the ones we love. They're kind of garbage gates for our purposes. We have, well, not garbage. We have 3 green gates in the Plaza, Simic, and Gruul. And we have 4 blue gates, which are the kind of the core. We have 3 red gates. So just a little low on the real meaty gates that we wanted. Do I have something? What's this? Oh, well, don't do that. Why are you bouncing at me if you don't do anything? Thank you, Fiddles. We'll go to deck building right now. Okie doke. 42, so we get 2 cuts, and where are we at? We were at 15 creatures, 10 non-creatures. I think the war previews are real. Usually when Wizards does April Fool's stuff, it's pretty obvious. We will not be doing April Fool's stuff here. No fooling today. Maybe this, like, dumb creature, like, what does the Rubble Belt Runner actually do for us? It's just a 3/3 for 3. Maybe we start the caster in the board. We're not doing any combos with it. Let's make sure the caster's really actually good against what we're playing against. Incubation could be a cut, but as I said, I actually like it here in that, wow, it's funny, the box is casting a shadow on Incubation. How 3D of you, Wizards. But how annoying? Like, I don't get, can you get that shadow off my card, please? Banana Jack had fun drafting M19 for the first time. How many times have you drafted it previously? I mean, I don't love M19, but it's not like I've never had fun drafting it. So I'm going to keep the Incubation. And I kind of want to just get rid of a dumb creature. Like, this is just not doing much. Maybe if we, again, see a bunch of tokens, we can bring it in or something. But I kind of like this. Maybe we need more... I was going to say we need more land. Maybe we do. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We can go to 18 land. Make sure our growth spirals find action. Maybe take out Shimmer. Like Shimmer or Ink. These are like the fine stuff. This feels like a keeper. This feels like a keeper. Maybe Scuttlegator can go. Actually, I like cutting Scuttlegator. And then adding a land. Let's see. We didn't get any Open the Gates. That stinks. Really would have liked to find any gate card, because then you get the Plaza. Open the Gates plus Plaza just unlocks your whole deck, right? But we probably need more. Let's see what our baselines is. We have for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue. Ugh. And green, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 green. That's kind of gross in both directions. I think we actually have to cut. How many mount? 3, 4, 5, 6 red. And this is even without... Yeah, our gates just didn't really cooperate. Like this, the picks where we could take gates there weren't the right gates in the pack, so we have a lot of awkward gates here. A lot of tapping for black mana that doesn't do anything. Like we have 3 gates that produce black and no black. Oh, we have final payment, I guess, so that counts as something it's doing anyway. Shaky gates. Well, I'm glad you had fun, Banana. And let's see, we had more green than blue. We probably want to add blue then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we had 7 green and 6 blue. Fine. I'm going to add definitely another island. And then if it weren't for these Gravelhide goblins, I would cut on red. But we do want to get these out promptly. It's a little bit of a muddled deck. I don't love it, but we'll see where it gets us. Actually, here, I'll do it from here. See our spares. And let's get this stuff correct. We have a 0-0 record. On free to play, we are not in the standard grind. We are RNA Bo3. Cool. Hang in there, Fellhammer. You'll get there. GMJ pick. I think Kaya's an option out of the board, but I'd prefer not to main deck her. Cool. Let's keep this, and maybe we'll find another gate in the first few picks. Like so. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We get to go Growth Spiral, play the gate, untap, and ram on 3 as a 4/4. I'm going to do it now. No reason to let them play a island and quench this or something. We're not doing anything else. We do Shark to Crab. We could just play the Shark to Crab here. It's the same size as the Ram, and it maximizes mana, so let's do that. Middling Mage is talking about hoarding resources for the new format ahead. There's definitely some sense to that. As a streamer, of course, I need to just... I want to play every day. Also, I'm now that we're 4X or close to 4X, I'm really excited about playing RNA because I feel like it's a good place for us to potentially be infinite, you know, to press a positive advantage on the system. But yeah, gold is definitely going to be stocked heavily now because I'm not going to play M19. Oh, one use I did come up with that I think would be good if we decide to primarily like abandon the paid account and basically make this the lightly paid account for the long-term future. But one thing I just hate doing is playing sealed on the free-to-play account because it's such a bad gem value. I'm going to take a Shimmer of Possibility, look for a basic land that allows us to drop the Ram here. Not a basic land, unfortunately, but at least the RAM will be bigger when we do get it down. What was I saying? Yeah, so that anyway, during pre-release season, when kind of the way to play the new set in a limited fashion is sealed, I'll switch to the paid account for that stuff, for the kind of turn the paid account into a bad value account. And sorry, you deserve your memes. Not work? Why is not working? Oh, because I'm in deck building. Let's try this.
I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance.
There we go. That'll get me to change my view. Shark to Crab. Would love a 2-spell turn. Don't really have one other than we can go Gatebreaker and have Final Payment up, right? We just need those. So we go like this, this, and this. And if they remove Shark to Crab or Ram, we can respond with Final Payment at least. Mammoth Spider. Don't care too much about the Spider right now. Everything we've got gets through that. Oh, I guess at 6 it doesn't, huh? So maybe we will take 5 life to take out that Spider. Could also just intend to tap it, but yeah, we'll take it out. It's worth 5 to clear the way. Especially with Angel on the horizon to get us a lot of our value back. Oppo had enough. We did not end up with a enchantment removal to splash, but we can bring in Brig to Trial against big ghoul stuff. I like that. Potentially against... Well, the Colossus side of this just makes it fully playable. We take out 1 Spiral to include the Trial. Let's see, what else do we like against Big Gruul? Run Scuttlegator to have another big presence on the ground. Maybe Mammoth Spiders aren't exactly where it's at against ground-pounding Gruul. But it's not like we have... I guess we can... Yeah, I do like a Gator over a Spider. And maybe a runner back to be a little bit earlier with our 3 power. I think I like that over the Spiders here. All right, looks fine. More than fine. Right now we have Shimmer or Goblin. Probably Goblin into Sneak into Gate. We'll offer this trade. We just want to make it to the late game. Got a lot of inevitability late. That's an intimidating card to see, but I think we can potentially beat it depending on, of course, the power of what they draw. We can go Shark to Crab next turn, especially if we get it. If they don't play anything to... If they don't stay back and block here, then we get a free sneak. Yeah, so let's free sneak and Shark to Crab. So then next turn, we have Incubation, Activate Shark to Crab. We have Shimmer. We'll see what we draw. Probably more than likely, we play a Gate and Activate Shark to Crab. We say no blocks this time. All right. I was worried about something huge. And we got something small. Now let's see if they find something huge. Mid-sized. Wow.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Well, I think we want to definitely attack with the sneak. But we probably want to keep Shark to Crab on defense and lock something down. Both of these trade with the Shark to Crab, so we need to get this to be a 5/5. So yeah, we're just going to attack. Oh, shoot, I messed up. Okay, I'm going to change my plan because I screwed up and didn't play the gate. And say no attack this turn, and instead we're going to go mountain. Oh wait, I can wait on the Shark to Crab till their turn, of course. So, but I'm going to incubate now using green. Probably just the Wayfinder. The Engineer doesn't do a whole lot for us here. In fact, we could Wayfinder now, but no, I want to Shark to Crab and tap down like the Ceratok, I think. Sure. No hasty there, so we'll go ahead and... I guess if they want to suicide the Vandalin, that's fine. They do not. All right, let's play the gate this time. And we get Creeper, Wayfinder, but maybe let's look at Wayfinder first. All right, we'll take the Ram here. Now we get to play it, because we'll toss a gate down. And we get to draw it. Oh man, there's a lot of Paradise songs. Gangster's Paradise could work. Paradise City. Just Like Paradise. Cheeseburger in Paradise. Cool, we get another gate to make our Ram bigger, and Angel for a big life gain, and something that can get through across the top. Oh, I guess it runs into the old Rubble Slinger, but Creeper can get up there as well. Something like that. It's a, what's his name? The parrot head guy. Tropical laid-back dude. Yeah, 2 tickets to Paradise. Thank you, Fiddles. Can't believe I didn't come up with that one. Buffett, thank you. Jimmy Buffett. Do we want to offer the Ram? No. Happy that our dudes are holding the line. And we'll see if the... Ooh, maybe we'll just go Gator? No, we don't have the land for the Gator yet, so let's go with the Angel. I did not get all of them. That's something I gotta, like, how long are they good for? Like, should be able to just run them through, right, and get all... and you know what? I'm not into the... Gotta say, I'm not into the new treatment. It looked better in the previews and from a distance. Like, when I play against it on the battlefield, it really annoys me that... that the frames are gone. These frames communicate a ton of information. This guy screams Gruul. He is red-green, or she, sorry. Rubble Slinger, the frame screams red-green. You know, all of these cards scream their colors at me, and it's important. That's good info. And these new frames get rid of all the color identifying stuff, and it just makes it harder for me to parse what's going on in the battlefield. So it's... there's a reason Magic cards have frames. They do work. They do visual communication work. No attacks there yet. And Gator. No, actually I'm going to do Creeper. Next turn I want to play the Gateway Plaza, so I'm going to go Creeper, or well, let's do Shimmer then Creeper. Ooh. How about you? Yeah, I like you better than Creeper. We can attack with the Colossus, they can do whatever they want, and we get it back with the Plaza. Well, you get... As long as they don't exile it or pin it down, we'll trade with just about whatever. Great. Bring to Trial shows up at just the right time. It's not an instant, is it? No. But we'll take out one of these Rendhorns to start. And with a 9/9 incoming, I kind of want to just send in the Ram and the Colossus and let them trade however they want to. I don't want to do Plaza before combat because I want to use it to return the... I'd rather get the Colossus back than get a card off the Sneak, was my feeling. We'll get a card off the Sneak eventually with this anyway. And I'm going to attack with the things that I don't... Like this... The Angel kind of forces the Slinger to be busy. And then the Ram needs to probably trade with the Rendhorn. Although if I wait on the Ram, the Plaza makes it bigger. So actually I'm going to wait on the Ram. I changed my mind. But we'll send in these. Slinger is just a make 'em block type deal. And that's fine here. Take out the 4/5. And now we'll Plaza. Oppo's all done. All right, that was good. Gate deck marched steadily forward. Ah, Fiddles, you got to update your prefix. It's now Optimal. Optimal Karn. Would you have swung your Sneak there? I don't know what you're asking, Forgotten Dog. We didn't have unblockability because we didn't play the gate till after. So I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to send in the Sneak without unblockability. All right, we are 1-0. Looking for some gem return on this traditional draft. Has everyone seen the deck boxes thing? No, what's up, Fellhammer? What's the deck boxes thing? Mark, because we had a gate in hand, I just wanted to throw down the Colossus and put the Colossus right back on top, and then next turn we would have an attacking 7/7, an unblockable sneak, well, not necessarily unblockable, but an attacking 7/7, and a replay of the Colossus, and it felt like we couldn't lose from there, and Oppo agreed. They scooped immediately, so Oppo seemed to agree with my play, at least. Yes, we'll keep this. No red yet, but we got Ram and Creeper ready. Not a great 2-drop against Footlight Fiend, but happy to set up our draw here. And we'll set it up with the Plaza over the Angel. I'm going to stay back, try to trade with the Maka. They're going to get Juggler connected anyway, so I just want to stay on defense as opposed to getting in some kind of race situation here. And I am also going to lead with the Creeper and follow with the Gatebreaker Ram when I can do so as a 4/4, so that doesn't put... This is 4 power anyway, so it's currently a similar power proposition. And if we wait on the Ram, we can play it as a 4/4, and that makes it less vulnerable to some of Red and Black's removal. Between Grotesque Demise, Skewer the Critics, and Scorchmark, leading with a 4/4 Ram has some benefits here against Oppo. Oh, I guess you can use them, you can apply them wherever. I don't know if I want to apply these. It looks coolish, but I like Clarity. I'm down with the Clarity. Sadly, though, if we try to play the Gatebreaker Ram as a 4/4, we do nothing this turn, and I don't think that's acceptable. So I'm going to have to go ahead and play the Island and the Ram and see if it survives. Really, right? Because I don't feel like we can... Although this is being held back. And then next turn we would get a 2-spell play. Yeah, since they didn't apply a whole bunch of pressure last turn, so I am actually going to go ahead and Plaza here. And I'm going to front having a spell. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to LR this week, but Luis and Marshall, among other things, talked about false signals and signaling on Arena. And hey, Fiddles, thanks for hanging while you could. We'll see you. And Luis was in a I don't bother mindset. Like, I got I got too many things to do to sit here and go into full control tells, but I think they were kind of talking about like going into full control, like going to hold full control mode, where you're just sitting here on every single one, representing something. I don't recommend that. I like doing just the control key, hitting it once goes into full control for the next step. So you can do a system of pass and then hit full control again, like click pass and hit control. And for a turn or two, you can represent something. And the thing where I disagree with Luis is that I think he's presenting it as though, like, if you do this, you just do it all game long or something. But the way I end up using tells is in very select spots of like, okay, this would be a good time to represent something. And then for like a 2 or 3 turn sequence, I represent something. And that's not very oppressive. That's just, you can legit get good advantages with that. I mean, Luis doesn't need it. He's going to be infinite anyway. Those of us trying to stay above 0 need everything we can get. All right, Racing Inheritance, and we get Goblin Ram, and then a nice big ram with that third gate next turn. Really need the ram to survive here. I think our result in this game 1 is going to be dependent on whether the ram lives. And we haven't really given him much to target in terms of removal, so if they have removal, I expect the ram to eat it here. You're allowed to hate IGI. Now let's get this race on, though. Must be Blade Brand? That's rough. As I said, our ability to win this game really hinges right now on keeping the ram, and we have outs to draw other stuff, but this is a pretty big deal that they're going to take out our ram here. Good thing they only have a Footlight Fiend left, though, so maybe we still have enough raw power to get there. I didn't pump because I want to play the other goblin. M19 draft is probably underrated because it came out after fan favorite Dominaria and was a fairly bland follow-up. But I think it holds up better than a lot of people give it credit for. That being said, I don't intend to play it. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's that fun, but I think it's better than people give it credit for. So I'm going to go ahead and Admonition the Fiend. And crack in for a bunch. But I don't know if, even if cracking in for a bunch is going to be enough against the double IGI here. I think if we find like a Colossus real quick here, then we might be able to pull this out. Also depends on, you know, maybe if they flood out. Yeah, that's not a flood out, is it? That is a... Okay. So we don't have trample, so we can chump with a goblin and get Shark to Crab down. I guess we should Growth Spiral first. Doesn't really matter. So now we have Chump and Freeze to like release us from Rubble Belt oppression for a little bit, but these IGIs are still bearing down on us. But we can Growth Spiral later. There's no reason to do that now. I would think, interesting, Colin. Colin's finding it less on rails and therefore more difficult to draft a good deck in M19. I find it tends to be fairly straightforward 2-color unless you kind of end up in 5-color base green, 4 and 5-color nonsense. All right. That's really good to have in our back pocket here. But we start with this. And we get to Shark to Crab and Final Payment. So let's go ahead and attack with everything. Let's see. Let's start with attack with everything. Because I bet they block. Hey, Yankovic. Thank you for the sub. The Footlight Fiend's got to try and take out the Gravelhide here, and that's where we're going to use sacking the Gravelhide to take out the Rubble Belt. Thank you, Gnome. I appreciate that. Oh, you're coming straight for me. Okay, well, let's see. You're coming straight for me. Then we will just put this... Then I'm going to use Shark to Crab and pin it down. And we can even sneak and still do that, right? Yeah, great. Oh, I see. You're just going for the kill. That makes sense. Math is hard. Anything we can do to not die? Let's see. Destroy a creature. No, they got us. I didn't see the math of it. These are both creatures. Kaya, regional cyber. Kaya is an interesting board option against the aggro deck. Is life gain enough here? Also, I feel like Rakdos wants to recur its dead creatures a lot, so exiling stuff from exiling creatures from graveyard is not the end. I think we'll give it a try. Let's try running a Kaya. And I'm actually going to cut the engineer for that. Kaya doesn't always disappoint. Kaya often disappoints. Looking forward to it. I haven't dug too deep into War of the Spark previews, but it certainly seems like a limited environment that will play differently from any environment we have played before this side of, like, Cube. So I expect the limited gameplay to remind us a bit of Cube gameplay. Not on a power level front, but on a having to consider a lot of planeswalkers on the battlefield front. All right, looks keepable. Not just keepable, it looks good. Oh, that reminds me. I had a small audience on Friday because I was competing with the big tournament. But I did mention that I spoke with Sam Stoddard. I went to lunch with Sam on Friday, and I'm gonna go. Growth Spiral. Probably just into the... we'll see. We'll see. Sorry, anyway, I have an answer to... I asked Sam about the Gate Colossus, and I'll speak to that when we talk War of the Spark a little bit. If we put the gate, we untap with 4 available, but if we save the gate, we can potentially sneak. Thing is, if we don't draw an alternative land, I am going to play this gate anyway. So, given all of that, I am going to just play the gate here. And it worked out. Like, we got... I'd rather have this shark to crab down. That's a teaser. I do have it. I have a good answer from Sam. At least a beard stroker, head nodder. Like, okay. At least that's where they're coming from. Whether we think it was successful or not, that's a different question. So here we're gonna connect with Shark to Crab and drop Sneak and then skewer the Roustabout. Now we have Shark to Crab to pin something down to get the sneak through. We have Final Payment. Do we? No, we don't have Final Payment yet because all of our white and black is in one land, so we can't Final Payment yet. But we can here go ahead and pin the Roustabout down. Get in for a bunch and hopefully find a land with this sneak. No land, but there's Kaya. Also unplayable right now. We're putting it on him to have like a get the point type card. They're not there. Really wanted to see something to help us cast this Final Payment so that we could... and maybe we'll still find something, but I want to respond to a double block with a removal so that we 2-for-1 with our removal if possible. But at least we get to gate here, get the sneak through, and Shark to Crab's going to hit hard. And our worst case scenario here is dropping a Steeple Creeper that can get flying next turn. So I think we're pretty good this game. Scofrick, welcome. How you doing? Glad to have you here. And by here, I mean planet Earth. I did not get myself a card reveal. I guess I'm not on their radar for that stuff yet. Or maybe I'm on their radar but have not qualified. In any case, no worries. Thomas, how you doing? Let's go... Still can't play any of our Orzhov cards, so I guess we're just dropping a Spider, but we could drop a Gravelhide and make this dude fly, so let's do that. Right? Oh no, we can drop a Gravelhide and make him fly if we play correctly. So let's go ahead and play correctly. That's going to be my suggestion for us. Doing really well. Maybe after this match we'll take some time to chat and catch up, and I'll drag out the soapbox on some stuff. Right on, indeed. Friend of the show, friend of Limited Resources, and friend of Going Optimal, Adam, who you hear about on Limited Resources all the time. Good friend of Marshall and mine has his annual Passover Seder. I was raised in Christian traditions, but not as really a churchgoer, and I celebrate all of the Christian holidays as a matter of culture. But I'm a way better Jew than I am a Christian now because of Adam. I go to Adam's house on all the big Jewish holidays and take part in their customs, and I really appreciate Judaism for their for their holidays. I think the Jewish holidays are amazing and wonderful and full of meaning and history. I'm a big history buff, so like Jewish holidays are like a history lesson. You know, I love it. Anyway, yeah. So I'm like a practicing non-Jew or something like that. So let's see. Run that back. Run that back. Missing some green, but we have Slimebine, Admonition, and Gravelhide available to us with any land. So I'm going to keep this. And we're also on the draw. This is a tough spot. I want to save the gate for the sneak, but if we play this now, we get to cast the sneak. However, we do get Gravelhide here, and I'm going to do this and take the chance, because now if we don't draw a land, we have Guildgate plus Slimebind. If we draw a basic land of some kind, we get Arrester's Admonition. If we draw a forest specifically, we get Gatebreaker Ram, which would be great. But I'd like any basic land here. And that's the right one. Hooray. Now, nothing can block a Plague White. We know that. So let's just play the sneak to set up a free card next turn. And if they can't kill the sneak, we get to gate, attack and draw a card, and then play the ram as a 4/4. So I like all of that. Expecting a juggler here. That'd be fine. Just don't kill my sneak, please. Ooh. Spawn of Mayhem maybe less fine than Juggler, but also not the end of the world. We can Slimebind that, and maybe we even do that here. Over the Ram. Or we could Admonition, send it back, buy us a little time. Then we don't even need, if we draw a basic land, we don't even need to play a gate this turn. Or we can just gate and Slimebind here. Let's do that. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should bounce, because like if we the trouble if we Slimebind, we don't want to bounce it, whereas we can just take the turn here to go ahead and bounce. Yeah, I have slight regrets now. We should have ideally a 2 gates in hand, but I still think this is correct. It was a mistake to think Slimebind right now. So it's better to realign to where we ought to be. Now we can have, if we play Forest, we don't get the sneak through. If we play a gate, we don't get Slimebind and Ram. Kaya doesn't do anything yet. I'm not worried about Kaya. Really, the question is, are we trying to 2-spell this turn or not in exchange for not drawing a card? And I'm going to say no. We want to draw the card, and we want to bind the Mayhem. Ooh. Final Payment, also interesting. Do we want it dead, or do we want it sitting on the table pinging? I think we want it dead, right? Yeah, Kaya next turn to regain the life. All right, I'm down on that. And then we maybe even put Slime Bind on the Plague White. Another good card. Yeah, we'll throw this Slime Bind on the white. We got some decent stuff ourselves. And maybe this turn we can take a turn off of gating our way to cards to double up on our spells, and then the gates will march. Yeah, I like that. Let's go Ram. This.
I can get rid of anything, living or dead. Pack your bags and hit the road.
All right. Can make this work. What could this be? Plus, what creature pump is there? I mean, I'm going to say no blocks. Alright, they're just trying some kind of gambit. The Ram is now vulnerable in the case of a double block, but I will trade the Ram for Judith and the Feral Maca. Might actually just die to Blade Brand again, though. Wonder if I need to keep something back for that. Although we can put the Creeper down. No, I'm gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll swing with it. I think we're gonna trade the Maca for a Blade Brand here, but I still think we need to do it. Huh, interesting. Chump? What are they doing? What's going on? You got two more from your hand? Oh, now you give Blade Brand. Sure, why not? I was like, it sure felt like Blade Brand. I just wasn't sure they were going with it.
Funny, that's what I do.
I mean, they needed to kill the... Why was it a bad use of Blade? Yeah, that's true. They wasted a point. They were trying to be... Maybe they were worried that I was going to do something. I don't know. Maybe they thought they were playing around something with that line. Now we're going to throw the Creeper down, and we'll consider offers. But yeah, maybe they're just going to kill it outright here. Recluse. Not the super worst. Okay, Angel is major for us. Kind of makes me want to... Let's see, what can we do? Attack... We can almost Kaya them. Right now we can Kaya them for 4. I'm just going to sneak this time so that we can drop the angel.
Want something banished? Funny, that's what I do.
All right, coming at me instead of Kaya, which I really appreciate, because I can take the 4 here, whereas I'm not sure I would have let Kaya go down. Good question. I could have exiled. I kind of felt like I should have thought that through. I don't think my thought was that we had, you don't want to exile your own stuff in your graveyard, but I don't think we have any recursion, so it would be fine to do that, and I'll do that next time. But the answer is yes. I really would want to get a 2/1 back if I could, but we're gonna just take the damage here. Man, we are flooding out a bit. We did put 18 lands in the deck, though, so it's not completely unusual that that's the case. How much can we race here? I'm gonna launch. I think we can race. Blue, black, green. Yeah, that gives us everything left. Okay, yeah, I hadn't even done that math yet, but I figured we were racing, so I'd start with the race action and then see where Kaya put us. Yeah, how about Xaxes?
This is my favorite part of every exorcism.
Squeaked by on that one. Put that on the bucket list. We won a match off a Kaya Ultimate. All right, 2-0, we have gems. We're kind of mid-morning here, midstream. Let's take a moment to talk news of the day. Yeah, we can put the deck up while we talk. So here's the deck we are playing. Let's see. Some thoughts on coverage of the Mythic Invitational, or the Mythic Invitational in general. From hearing Marshall on Limited Resources, apparently the event got about 3 times the coverage views that a normal like Pro Tour or now Mythic Championship would garner. So by sheer views, I think you would have to call this weekend a huge success for Wizards. They have got to be high-fiving each other this morning. That's exactly what this initiative was about, really. I know there's a lot of goals for Arena and a lot of things it's trying to provide to a lot of different people, but certainly one of the major influences of getting the project off the ground in the first place was needing a presence in esports, needing a presence in the digital gaming space, needing a game that people could stream on Twitch and people would enjoy watching, right? So really, the Mythic Invitational this weekend on Arena and with the coverage it got was a real statement for Wizards about their intentions for the future and about the importance of Arena and the importance of esports to Magic. It, of course, with success comes a lot of difficult questions and difficult decisions that I'm sure Wizards is wrestling with right now. If I were still working there, I would be wrestling on this stuff with them because it's not easy. It's not clear where the line between valuing what is great and historic about Magic in terms of its depth and complexity and the best 2 out of 3 nature of the games and that stickiness of it versus what is appealing in many ways about what we saw this weekend, which is fast play and constant action and things happening and effects. And it was all very flashy and cool. And the magic was good. But clearly, the format itself, this, what do they call it? Double deck standard, or, I forget exactly how they named it. But the structure where it's best of one. Each player brings 2 decks, and then I guess the structure is random pairing in game 1, flip the decks for game 2, and then the players select for game 3. Is that how that works? Bottom line is, I don't even know who won. I don't know what happened on the last day because I lost interest in the actual Magic. The pageantry was excellent. The sign of things to come was excellent. The statement by Wizards that we are here in esports and we mean it was excellent. But personally as a viewer, watching hyper aggro and hyper control deck matchups play out in best of one all day long wasn't the best Magic. It didn't put the best Magic forward. There were great moments. And it shows how great the game is, that even with a tournament structure that I found lacking, it still created compelling games and was a compelling thing to watch. Mainly, my big takeaway is they still have a lot of work to do in terms of figuring out what the right structure for that type of event is, and a lot of work to do in figuring out what Arena plus what is formerly the Pro Tour means. Like what is high level Magic? How do high level paper Magic and high level digital Magic coexist? But it was also exciting for me to see, that an invitational had this much behind it. I hope that they find that the invitational, while needing work in terms of its exact structure, I hope they find that this morning that the numbers were so good that obviously they want to keep doing something like an invitational. And then I have something to aspire to. When I think about my skill level, I know I don't belong in the upper echelons of Magic players. I could get there. Enough things could happen and fall into place where I could win the right tournament and find myself at a Mythic Championship playing with the best of the best. And heck, I could even spike that tournament and have a great run that day or whatever. But I know where I'm at. I know my win percentage. I know my leaks, or I know a lot of my leaks. And I'm not an elite player. So I don't really have those types of aspirations other than, I'm always going to try. It would be cool to spike it and make it to the Mythic Championship, even if I'm not one of the top players in the world. It would totally be cool to spike it and make it there. But Invitational, that's looking towards a certain percentage of its competitors are Magic personalities. I was telling my family this weekend, I'm not saying it's likely, but it's certainly in the realm of possibility that that they decide the invitationals are sweet and they keep them going, and that one day I get invited and that I get lucky that day and spike the tournament that weekend, and that would be a life-changing event, So it's kind of cool. That's more aspirational for me now, to participate in the invitational than it is really to make my way and stay on the Mythic Championship train. So all in all, a very encouraging weekend from the Mythic Invitational. I think only when you have a fine start like that, there's nowhere to go but up almost. It actually reminds me, Aaron Forsyth once quipped that Legends represented an ideal Magic design in the sense that Legends, the set, introduced the concept of multicolor, and gold cards were introduced in Legends, and everybody flipped out. Like all the old school Magic players back in the day, gold was just a mind-blowing mechanic and people loved it. And now go look at the gold cards in Legends. They are terrible. You get we know that both gold and legendary are drawbacks, right? They're flashy, but they're drawbacks. They make the card worse, harder to cast, and harder to play multiples of. So, ostensibly, something that costs the same converted mana cost that is gold and legendary should be more powerful. And instead, in Legends, all the first gold stuff was garbage. It was all like vanilla gold cards that were more expensive. Yet everybody loved it. So the parallel here is that, as Aaron says, in a sense, Legends was the perfect debut of gold because everybody got excited, everybody loved it, and everybody saw the potential. But none of the real design space was mined, and there was plenty of design space to go forward with gold. And so I kind of see that a parallel there with the Mythic Invitational this weekend. The format itself was kind of like seeing Lady Orca as your first gold card. It's splashy and cool, and wow, I want to see more of that. But also, if you look closely, you realize, oh, that was kind of bad in a lot of respects, but in a fixable way. They can fix what's bad about this, and so I'm excited about what's great about this. So there's a little parallel between the introduction of gold cards to Magic and the introduction of the Mythic Invitational to something that we may be viewing year upon year. So that's my take on the Mythic Invitational. And I'll give one more soapbox here before we get back to playing, and this will be a little bit shorter. I wanted to speak to this touches on War of the Spark a little bit, but also touches on the question I promised viewers last week that I would ask Sam at lunch, which was, what's up with the Colossus? How did Colossus become an uncommon? Why was Colossus an uncommon and not a rare? And I asked if did it ever start at rare and did it get pushed down? Did it start with weaker abilities maybe, and abilities got added to it that maybe made it become more rare-like from the uncommon slot as it evolved? And he was like, no, it was basically like that from the beginning, and it was uncommon from the beginning. And a lot of it is that this is the first set that had some lingering impact of the real world success of Dominaria. And maybe Dominaria wasn't even released yet, but basically the philosophy around the Gate Colossus card is a follow-up of what was very successful about Dominaria, which is uncommons having a pushed power level. And I get that. One of the things I've said about Dominaria is that it's a fan favorite, partly because everybody leaves feeling like they have a good deck, and that's one of the things about Cube and the Masters sets as well that I think is a secret sauce of that stuff. When your overall card power level is raised relative to your past, everybody's going to feel like their decks are a little bit more powerful than historically they would expect. And that makes them feel like, hey, I was able to draft a great deck, and I like formats where I'm able to draft great decks, therefore I like this format. Even though your relative strength is going to be similar to everybody else's, I think it's a pretty powerful secret sauce to increase the feeling of power level in Limited, although it's a sauce that doesn't work forever, because if you raise the power level of uncommons to whatever and then keep it steady there for years, eventually that's going to feel like the new normal. But what I'm getting at, or my follow-up with Sam that I thought was interesting, was just that, like, whether you're happy with this, whether you think uncommons should be more powerful in Limited, that's the thought process. That part of what really worked about Dominaria was powerful uncommons, rare feeling uncommons. And so I think this Gate Colossus is a move towards that. And I think War of the Spark is a move towards that. I think, what could express the shifting of power downward in rarity more than putting Planeswalkers at uncommon? Now, it's easy to make bad Planeswalkers. I can make a completely unplayable uncommon Planeswalker. So it's not like because it's a Planeswalker, it is inherently a powerful Magic card. But we do have an association with Planeswalkers as powerful Magic cards. So bringing them down to uncommon really screams that quite loudly. And I ultimately think, so that's why I kind of wanted to wrap up those two comments, that I think the lessons of Dominaria have both led to Gate Colossus at Uncommon and Planeswalkers at Uncommon in War of the Spark. Maybe they were thinking about that well ahead of the success of Dominaria, because they plan things well in advance. I know that a heavy Planeswalker set was planned well in advance of knowing how well Dominaria was going to do. Still, it at least reinforces that they're on the right track in terms of making uncommons, frankly, just sexier, more on a power level front, so that people get more excited about opening their booster in limited, that there's a really tough choice because there's a bomb rare and there's a really good uncommon too, you know? So that's where the power level of things like Colossus at Uncommon come in. And as for this card specifically, Sam also added that, you know, of course there's the Arena thing where it's more powerful on Arena because of the way the bots draft. But I was like, I get that, but take Arena outside of it. You know, we talk about the color pie. If there's a rarity pie, like Gate Colossus breaks the rarity pie, right? And cards broke the rarity pie all over in the old days. And perhaps instead of saying that Gate Colossus is breaking the rarity pie, we will say that Gate Colossus is emblematic of the shift of the rarity pie to incorporate higher power levels at Uncommon. So that's what R&D is thinking about. And I get it. It makes people like formats more. So we'll see how it plays out heading forward. Okay. Back to it. Let's see if we can snag some profit. We are one match win away from, we ground 120 gems, so a match win here is straight profit. Yeah, we'll keep this. That's been happening a lot lately, like this kind of weird snap to turn one. What are y'all talking about? Let's get this gate going here. And we have ram or sneak next turn. We'll see what we want to do. Man, might even want to admonition that spirit back. Actually, I'm going to throw down Sneak. I'm going to throw down Sneak because I expect that they will attack with the spirit, play something. If the Sneak lives, I think we can admonition something out of the way to get the Sneak through without a gate, is my thinking. Just so. And we will, in fact, do that. Although we could, let's see, if we go... If there was a basic land on top, we could actually growth spiral into admonition. But no, it'd have to be blue. That's too risky. We're just going to admonition here. Oh, let's see. We can attack with the sneak first. Make sure that's the forest we want to play. And it is. I think, we just want to save the gate for next time. Unless we want specifically 5 next turn. 5 next turn allows us to gate Colossus next turn. Is that worth the lack of a free attack? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. This is a tough choice because this is an extra. We save this, we get an extra card, almost for sure. But we play the gate, we get to drop Colossus just straight up next turn. But we can also, if we draw a land, set up a growth spiral turn. Yeah, but if we drop a gate, we're not ramming in 2-drop. We're gonna gate Colossus, right? So the fact that we can doesn't really matter because we're not gonna. We'd play that. And if we don't, then we're saying drop the forest, and then next turn we gate, and we have 4 mana with which we could like Shark to Crab. All right, let's just get the Colossus down. Yeah, but we're happy to, you know, we'll trade Colossus with the Spirit and then buy back the Colossus at some point and free the Ram. Now, interesting. Yeah, we can have it all. Let's do this. Ah, final payment is great. That'll give us something to take out the Spirit, and then the Colossus won't be blockable unless they play a 3-power creature. Shark to Crab starts to freeze stuff. We're turning the corner here. Orzhov wins from here by somehow beating us down before we can turn the corner and stabilize. So, lots to think about here. We're not attacking with the Gateway Sneak, though, just the Colossus. So let's send in that. And we have Gatebreaker with Final Payment, plus, although Growth Spiral, if we go, let's say we play a Forest, and then we Growth Spiral, and we have play an Island, and then we have 5, and with 5 we can still ram with Final Payment up, so yeah, let's do that. Alright, they got our RAM, but in exchange we got a free payment to take out the one thing that can block our Colossus. So, still looking very good for us if we can keep them from beating us. Yep, this is what I expected. They kind of have to do this now. And we'll go ahead and take this block. Another Growth Spiral. Really just want to see if there's anything we can do to just end the game here. Probably not. But I'll start with a Spiral, or start with a Shimmer, and take a look. Let's at least get another gate. Hold the gate in case they kill or use the gate to get the sneak through. I think we just attack with both. Oh, they're going to let us have it anyway? I was going to play the Spider just to have lots of blocking, but I actually kind of like Gravel Hide plus Incubation Incongruity ready. This allows us to threaten to trade with the Grudian and an emergency incongruity if we have to. Nope. Didn't need it. Okay, Orzhov. What kind of aggro Orzhov? Maybe this is another place for the Usurper for watching out for the recursive graveyard stuff. Daggercaster could be okay. We saw grandmas that would get grandmas and flyers. Maybe that's even better than Kaya. No other. Awesome to hear. Yeah, it was really encouraging to see Magic catch up a bit in that world. Definitely keeping that in. Maybe I'll just drop a Spiral. Seems like a fairly easy cut for this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think I like this. No Kaya. Yes. Daggercaster. Maybe yes Kaya. Like over the engineer. I'm going to try this. Those black decks do so much creature recursion. I like the idea of hitting that yard, and with IGI, also a threat from those decks. I like racing the other direction. You know, the life gain race can be a real thing as well. It's pretty ugly. It's effectively our splash colors, but they're going first, and we have so much good stuff if we can find any green or... Well, we really need green, huh? Is it too greedy to keep this? We need green and blue to cast this. This only searches creatures, not... I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to keep this. It's greedy, but we're on the draw, and the hand is so good if we can just get a little bit of our colors going. Green or blue allows us to do some stuff, and then green and blue allows us to do very good things. Not quite, not quite. Really need something off the top, or we have nothing. So, gone horribly so far. But most lands in our deck, any land, literally any land, would be welcome, just so that we're not, like, discarding. But most lands in our deck are actively good. Alright, perfect. How about perfect? And they've got counter magic showing. I'm not going to bother with the ram here. I'm going to go with Growth Spiral at the end of their turn. Oh, I can't Growth Spiral, so I guess we do ram, because there's nothing else to do. I think it's going to get countered, but I'm not going to not play anything. Oh, great. That's just gravy. I was so sure that we would meet Counter Magic Fate, but there wasn't even a pause, so it's not like they said, let's not counter it because we have this removal. They might have removal, but there was no pause. I don't mind the Deputy of Detention. I think, like with cards like Final Payment and Incongruity, we can actually get them pretty good with that kind of play. Here, though, we're going to Shark to Crab. Good morning, Adam. I was telling everybody this morning about what a good Jew you've made me. Well, they're leaving a lot of mana up here, but we'll just send in the Shark to Crab. I'm kind of sniffing out a Slime Bind. This feels like Slime Bindy to me, but we'll see. Oh, just that as kind of a non-practicing Christian, other than engaging in classic Christian holidays on a social level and a family level, I'm not particularly religious, and that going to your 2 annual Jewish holiday traditions at your place has made me basically a better Jew than I am a Christian. Like I probably know more about the history of Jewish culture and traditions now than I do my own. My stepmother's from Taiwan, so I have a huge contingent of Chinese family, and so I also have a lot of familiarity with Chinese holiday traditions that I may be more in tune with than I am my boring Christian stuff. So we could growth spiral here. If we do that and we find a land, then maybe we can play something else. I kind of want to play something here. I guess we'll play the sneak, though. Oh, did they draw a counter? They didn't have a counter before. Maybe they have something that can target opponents' creatures, because when my board was empty, there was no pause, and now that I have something on board, there was. So yeah, it was a summary judgment that they had in their hand. Okay. We could... I think we do this looking for land now at this point. Hey, found one. If we draw another one, we should be able to play it. That didn't count as our land for the turn. Excellent. Nothing now to play, but incubation incongruity, we will hold off. I mean, there's all sorts of things I learned about Jewish traditions that I didn't understand until I went to Adam's house. Like how integral marshmallows are to Jewish traditions. Well, at least to Jewish traditions at Adam's house. Where you may have a marshmallow hurled at you at any moment. It's very exciting. Okay, so we have Thrash, which gives us an instant speed punch. That's cool. Attack with the sneak and hold up Thrash threat. Like, what do you mean? No, this is... Orzhov was the previous matchup. So, I'm not sure what you mean by... attack with the sneak and hold up last time? I don't know. I like my line. Let's see. I'm going to go with... I'm going to let this happen here. We have 6 mana. I'm going to do Creeper. Oh, but I can't do Creeper leaving up Thrash Threat. That's the problem. I can do Creeper leaving up Final Payment, though, so let's do that. Oops. I was thinking it was 4 when it's 3. Anything I can do with that spare mana that I have wasted? No, but it's okay. We still get everything else we want out of this, out of our casting capabilities. I missed you hitting a blind person in the head with a marshmallow. Clearly, I missed the good old days. No, I'd already spent it. Once you spent mana, you can't do any untapping and that kind of thing. Sorry. Chatting and therefore a little slower here. Pegasus. mean, we could, yeah, final payment, get our gate. Yeah, don't need that back yet. Kind of just like... attacking with the creeper until Oppo does something about it. We can also drop a... Now let's put a spider down here. Get our board a little bit more established, and then we can turn to creeper attacks coming up. I don't want to use incubation here. I think we will want incongruity more than incubation. We could also offer spider or creeper for this, but this gives us attack backs and stuff. I'm going to say no blocks, and then maybe we'll set up a spot where we can take out that deputy, return our ram to the battlefield, maybe with another gate in play, and be able to eat the benthid. Certainly like starting with a wayfinder here. Looking for some land. Yeah, our land is super awkward. All the gates we got were just kind of like the wrong color gates. Colossus. I want this forest, but not passing up a Colossus. And Slimebind plus final payment available seems good. But I will offer the Creeper. If they want to put Deputy and Pegasus in front of the Creeper, we blow them out, so may as well offer. We should have blocked. I don't know. Well, we can send in the sneak, but they'll just block that, right? So okay, that gives us a good final payment target. Let's... Well, if we want to do it, I guess we do it now. So we'll take out the Deputy. And that still leaves us with Slimebind. That's great. All right, we've got our Colossus. We also have Thrash Threat. They are showing 4 spells and 6 mana, so I'm a little worried that this just gets countered, but then it goes back to the graveyard where we can get it again. The other option would be... Yeah, let's go. I think this is getting countered, but as long as it doesn't get exiled, that's fine. Let's see if they've got it. No, I don't even have it. Okay. Pretty sure that was getting countered, and then it did not. So, no attacks. We will see what we can do next turn, and what they can do. Kind of expecting a binding type spell now. Grudian does not stop the Colossus. Can't block it. Only the Benthid can. Because, you know, Colossus not disgusting enough. Just seeing what we can do here in terms of other attacks besides the Colossus. I don't see anything. We'll just send the Colossus for now. F9er, others have suggested that, but I really don't think Wizards is going to mess with the bots and not tell us. And I feel like between everybody here, somebody here would know if there was a fresh forum post about bot updates. I think we'd hear about it. I don't think... I just think it's... yeah, I just think it's variance in that way. Now maybe we want the incongruity to find another creature to add that's threatening, but this is good. We'll just do this. I don't see any way to keep up both Thrash and Slimebind. So what are we keeping up? Probably, I think I'll keep up Slimebind. Yeah, I can't do anything about the Benthid right now, but it will be forced to block the Colossus next turn unless they show us something else with 3 power or something to nullify the Colossus. Totally static, F9er. That's one of the issues with the system. It is... There is no... There's no metagame for the bots. They do the same thing. They take the same approach every time. They just might have a different personality as they do it. So now we're going to slime the Pestilent Spirit because it can block and kill... It's like, wow, what are you doing? Okay, since it can block and kill the Colossus. So we put this here, and now the Benthid has to block. If we had 3 removal spells, we could remove, and win. But we don't, so we're going to try and win in a turn from now. After this forced block of the Colossus. Going to leave all of this in case they come up with something else that can stop the Colossus. Thrash threat plus incubation plus incongruity ought to give us the ability to do it. And look at that, folks! Chat, friends, Rat Pack. We have achieved profit. We've got a booster pack that, if it has a rare, will contain gems. Gems. So I'm going to put gem grind from stuff not technically in the draft we were in. I'm still going to note it in that draft's gem grind because I want to capture all the places where we're getting gems out of the economy that we weren't before the update. So I'm going to do that. No worries, Elle. I'm glad you have discovered that we have a new prefix. It's easy to remember. It's optimal. There you go. Spam away. All right, I'm going to make a note that we opened 1 prize pack. So when we do things like opening a reward pack that gave us a gem grind, I'm just going to note it in whatever event we're currently in so that we track all of our ground gems, because I think it's a big part of the profitability of my run on Arena lately. Like, before the economic update that allowed us to grind gems in Limited, I was paying for drafts a little bit. I was drafting pretty cheaply. Now that we can grind gems, I've been playing pretty infinitely. And like, if we look at, let me do a quick add of the gems we've ground so far. I'm just curious how many drafts they've given us for free. So we've drowned, since the new update, we've ground 3,180 gems. So we've gotten 2 full, free, traditional Ravnica Allegiance drafts out of the new system, and we just wouldn't have gotten those before. So it's pretty big deal. I know it doesn't seem like much from moment to moment to take a rare and get 20 measly gems, but as it starts to add up into multiple drafts that you've gotten for free, it really is quite the decent value proposition for the system, for the limited player. Gonna update our record and really try and cash in on the profit here. We've got a foul to give, so we've got at least 2 more matches. Yeah, great. Love to pull nothing but gates off the top for a few turns, but if we can find some land near the top, this looks great. In particular, a land on the top, and then we get to Growth Spiral and play that land. But Growth Spiral is in that spot where it's only going to be, it's just going to be 2 mana cycle unless we find land. All right, we found some land to make it more than 2 mana cycle. Seeing red here, we're unlikely, it's not going to be, they're not going to play an island. I guess they could be Esper and play an island, but I'm going to risk representing something here that we might change their play somehow. Represent a Quench of our own. Alright, that's great because we get the land for next turn, and we even get a gate. Super sweet. We're gonna go, we could go Shark to Crab. Yeah, Shark to Crab's just as big as a gated ram anyway, so I'm actually going to... Well, the other thing we could do is Engineer. If we gate Engineer, then next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we could go Ram, Shark to Crab next turn if the Engineer doesn't die. I mean, that's not a bad result either. It just means we take a turn off. And we still end up with those the two big creatures on board at the end of the turn. The difference is having the Engineer versus having an attack with one of these creatures now. And I like having the attack, actually, so I'm going to go with the Crab. Bash, it is not random. You must have a to get gems out of a booster pack. You specifically need to have 4 each of everything at that rarity, and to get it out of a draft, you just need to have 4x of that one card, and then if you draft that card, you'll get the gems. So we're going to follow up as planned. Although maybe now we pin that Grudian down and play a gate here. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. And we have a lot of red, so we'll do this. We get another attack with the Shark Crab, and we get to play the Ram. And then by the time the Grudian is untapped and ready to attack or block, we get to skewer it. Yeah, this is a straightforward attack. You're not going to block here. Oh, are you? No, say you can't be blocking yet. So let's skewer the Shark to Crab enemy and the Ram enemy. And drop a gate. It's a nice looking pair. Back on D. Let's check the top. Five, about to be a 6/6. Doesn't actually change the clock much, so I'm going to go ahead and take the creature. Could be a Blade Brand here. Oppo didn't do anything, so I'm very suspicious of all that open mana and all those cards. Yeah, I don't care about the Wayfinder. I get it. I wanted to see what we had coming. Looks like they didn't even bother anyway, but to me the Wayfinder was set up our next draw. Everything else about it was whatever. That was a good play from Oppo to take out the crab, but our ram is still active. All right, that was good enough to maybe hold us back. Let's see, we ram. They put transport and imp in front of it. We kill the transport. They get 2 1/1 flyers, and the imp survives, and the ram is dead. And then we drop a spider and have a 2/1, 1/1, and a 3. It really felt like we were in a great spot. Now, less so. But still trying to decide whether we're looking to trade the ram off here or just wait and drop the spider and try to get the ram bigger. Trouble is, if the ram is multiple biggers away from still being just a 1-for-1. So, yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna trade. Sure, they can. This is what we expected. Oh, sorry, it did kill it. Yeah, where was my math was bad. Sorry, guys. I was thinking that was a 1-for-1. That's even better for us. I thought the total toughness was greater than our power. What could this be about? Kaya's Wrath? This screams Wrath, actually. So, given that, I'll go ahead and save a point. I don't think... Actually, it's not worth a point in case it's probably Wrath. But it's not worth saving a point of damage in case it isn't, and it's actually some way to kill the spider. So, we'll just do this. But I think they Wrath right now. That's a very telegraphed Wrath attack. Or it's maybe just desperation, but I don't know what they're up for. Dead Revels, I see. So, really was just a have some dinner. Interesting. Terrible time for a forest. We'll attack with the Wayfinder. Well, Wayfinder gets blocked by the Fiend, and the Fiend takes out the Engineer. The thing is, neither of those really matter. I guess we'll stay back, though. We're now looking for something to finish. Colossus wouldn't hurt if we could find that. Well, Swaggy Taco, you would know what a taco about luck would be thinking, so... Gotta go to the taco folks to understand that. Man, with the Fiend out, I kind of just want to trade Wayfinder and Engineer and make a couple more flyers, because then if we draw the Colossus, they don't have anything that can block it. We don't need any of this anymore. Yeah, I'm fine with this. We even put our Dagger Caster in, so that would be good. Right? We have a Dagger Caster in? Oh, we did. Oh, I guess we did. That was a previous matchup, but we could put a Dagger Caster in here. Really want one now. Yeah, we're in game 1 anyway. Game 1 of a new matchup. Bring in the Dagger Caster. Not going to sandbag anything. We'll just throw this out and be ready. Maybe it's a little OCD that you're crying about it, but I notice weird things like that all the time. Can we just win with this? How do we win with this? No, not really. We're still back. Do we have the... Oh no, we don't have that left either. We already spent our skewer. I'm trying to look if we have just, like, easy win stuff. Colossus on the Creeper probably gets there. Having a removal in hand is nice because if they do some math and decide that they have something, you know, instant speed removal lets us surprise their math. How about just a... There we go. How about just a Colossus? Just give us a Colossus. Yeah, that still allows us to cast Thrash, so we'll do this. And now we are... they have 2 chumps. Three chumps. They have 3 chumps. I'm going to attack. If they decide to put all of their 3 on the Colossus, we get to thrash one of them and then just take them all out. And we have a guild gate to get it back, so that's nice now. Hopefully they triple block. That's what we want to see. Double block, you say? Well, I'm not gonna do anything. If they've got a trick to take this out here, we just get it back with the gate. Or we can thrash in response. Yeah, so we'll thrash. I mean, we could just draw it, but I like... Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it, right? Because we still take out their 2 blockers, and then we can use the thrash threat to take out the Thrall. And we're very close. And then they're top decking, and we get to thrash threat that Thrall. I'm in no hurry to do that. They don't have counterspell magic. And they may play something else that's even more important to thrash than the Thrall. That's why I'm waiting. I want to cast Thrash when it's like, okay, we thrash and win the game, right? And until then, I'm going to risk them drawing something to interfere with that plan to avoid the place where they draw something significantly more troublesome than the Thrall, and we really wish we had the Thrash for that. Well, I'm going to jump the creeper and block and force him to have something. This might be a spectacled juggler or something like that. Revels, and they get back one, so they get to chump again. Stupid Revels, I tell you. But we do get Creeper in the air, I think. Because they have to kind of block up top there. Let's go, let's keep... Well, if we thrash, if we can get rid of the 2/3 powers, we win. But I'm going to thrash the flyer now. All right, we just, how about just winning? Just winning seems awfully cool to me. Right, we get rid of the transport and they have no ability to block the Colossus. All right, wasn't easy, but we got there, and we're definitely bringing in Kaya to try and manage that graveyard. And we are what was the other one we liked? Daggercaster for like this. And again, I didn't really like the engineer all that much. Rubble Belt Runner. I get where you're coming from on that, but I think we have the like Kaya and Daggercaster are the tools here. Runner, yes, interacts positively with the tokens they're creating, but it's not really what we're trying to do. We're kind of a control deck looking to take over with Colossus, Angel, Shark to Crab, or Ram, and this doesn't really fit well into that strategy, so I'm just going to leave it on the side as kind of a not fitting dude. Yeah, double D's. It's a kind of Teamer Gates with some spice. Didn't get any of our green here, but we'll find green. And then this hand is really quite amazing, so I'm going to trust that we'll find some green eventually. I guess we'll go with the red source since we have a red spell. There's the green. Showed up just in time, so we can drop the other gate and lead with a turn 3 ram. Turn 3 4/4 ram. They could end up playing... They have a lot of Death Touch, it seems, so kind of expecting a Death Touch response here. But then again, they had 3 mana and didn't drop a Grudian, so maybe this ram survives, question mark. I think we'll skewer it or Slimebind anyway. Alright, a bit of a race situation. That's where it's handy to have Vigilance. Only 1 red available to us. We can use Collision to take out the flyer. Or Slime Bind. You know, we have a lot of stuff to deal with the flyer. Let's play... Gravelhide, and then have Slime Bind and Collision available. Gotta decide if we want to stop Spectacle this turn or not. I don't know. We'll see what they do. See if they sack anything. Oh, yeah, oops. We have a collision, though. That was my fault. I was actually looking and let that happen to me. But that's great. They used up a juggler. We're going to get big enough with the ram that we can probably... Actually, I'll just take the Spire Mangler here. And we'll attack with the ram next turn and have all sorts of things we can do to... Actually, not all sorts. We just really have... Skewer, we have Colossus, but I'm liking playing Colossus here, so I'm down with that. And if we pump Goblin, it doesn't trade and we can't Colossus, so we can't really attack with the Goblin. Hello? I guess this is the only way to play this stuff. And we could Slime Bind the Mangler, but as was just observed by Double D's, you know, the Spider does the job of stopping the Mangler, so let's save our removal for something we don't have a creature-based answer for. Like, Spider and Angel both stop the Mangler here in time. Drill bit, you say? Well, sure. Take what you want. Probably taking the Angel, that would be my guess. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not going to like what they see. It's all pretty good against what they've got. Get another gate, it'll be sick. 6 life off the Angel. Okay. Maybe the threat of Skewer to the face makes that an issue. They get some extra life back here, right? No? Oh yeah, they do with their own stuff. Yeah. I'm going to Slime Bind now. We have our turn set up. We know what we're going to do for the next couple turns. Let's use it. Fawn doesn't like that binding. I'm trying to use up my mana here. That was my thought. That we're going to be mana busy for the next few turns, and then we're going to be activating Goblin and stuff. And it allows us... Oops. No. I like being able to attack with that and use the mana there. Maybe I should have saved it, but I like where we're at. Can't do both of these, but we can activate Gravelhide and Final Payment. And let's let him block and activate on the ram, and then with the trample, all the trample damage will get through. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we just win here, actually. So, no, Mark, I kind of like my play of winning. Thank you very much. Mark wishes he has a binding to play instead of winning the actual game. I'm down with winning actual game myself. We won't necessarily if they block with a mangler, though. It comes. We'll get him down to 1 away, though. There's a chance they don't block with the mangler, in which case we do win, but probably putting the mangler in front of the angel and making us take another turn to do this. And they've got some mana, and they seem to be looking at their hand. We'll see what happens here. Worst case, we final payment with a different cost. Alright, I think we're set up pretty well, unless they have quite a card remaining in the hand there. Attacked and have threat of activation. Isn't that what I did? I don't remember now. All right, they're doing everything they can, but we have a follow-up play. They know about it. And we even get... I'm not sure if we're supposed to do incubation or incongruity. I'm going to save it. I'm going to say... Oh, come on, auto-tap. I guess it doesn't really do anything, but still. Yeah, I'm going to save it in case we want to... exile an important card of theirs. All right, they weren't dead, but I guess that was enough. Oh, okay. Auto tapping will never be perfect. It's so hard. It's such a difficult challenge to have something tap for you with a human level magic brain. Hey everybody, we're 4-0. That is sweet. I'm happy to be 4-0. Crushing it. Free to play indeed. We are at 11:38. Perfect timing. I will finish out this event today no matter what. Hey, while we're here, though, I need to add this to my panels, but I want to find... Hold on a second. Make one announcement. While I've got you all here. Some things... I got some irons in the stove beyond this stream. And one of them... I wonder, how do you go to Maestro? Let's see, inventory. This thing, I wanted to get this more sorted out before I started today. But you can go to, let's see, how do you do sellers? Anyway, I have a, sorry, I'll cut to the chase and stop this this muttering. I started a store on TCG Player. So I have a lot of singles. I have a lot of product from my days at Wizards. I have a lot of product, frankly, from my days before Wizards. I've done a lot of trading. I've done some collection buying. And I figured rather than, you know, sell my cards off to some of the big names in the business, I would, since I'm doing this stream anyway, one of the things I might be able to do to generate some revenue for myself is cross-promote myself as a streamer and a seller of cards. So if you go to TCG Player, you can look for my store there. It's Going Optimal. Why? It takes forever, though, for some reason. Well, this says admin. I don't want to be on admin. I just want to go. All right, fine. Let's just go to TCG Player. You should be able to search for me. Anyway, if you search for, if you need cards and you go to TCG Player, you can look for Going Optimal. There, my store is on TCG Player. And if you're a viewer and you send me a note, I will give you some sort of discount. We'll work out, right now to build up my my sales. Right now, I don't have the ability to list anything I want. I'm capped. The Going Optimal store should be all one word. Yes. All one word, Going Optimal at the TCG Player stores. And I'm trying to sell at low prices to get a lot of orders so that I can unlock the full features of TCG Player Storehood. And if you see anything, so I don't have a lot of stuff listed right now because I'm doing that. But if you see something you need and you're a viewer and you want to give me a shout out via TCG Player, I'll give you a discount, at least 5%, something like that. It's already a low price, but I'll make it even lower for my viewers as I get this store set up. So that's one thing I've got going on. And when if somebody wants to, maybe they can go find my store and link it. I want to get back to playing. I don't want to sit here and stream me trying to find my own TCG Player store, but maybe we can find it and link it. There we go. Thank you. Fawn has found me. I got a few one-off modern stuff, but eventually I'll eventually unlock unlimited listings, and then I should be able to really fill that thing up with all sorts of cards. I will make some. Let's not worry about the a command for the store today. I'll do some more work on that tonight, and we'll set up a command and everything tomorrow. No blue to run this stuff out there. Do we keep this without blue? I mean, if we find blue, we kind of ramp to nowhere. I don't know. We do have a turn 2 goblin, though. Russians in the house. It was bad, Peacetime Fawn. It felt weird to try and talk over the commentators. It felt weird to try and play my own game while watching their game. So kind of just ended up turning it off. I'm going to keep this. It's a little risky. We do need some blue, but I think we have, with the turn 2 gravel hide and having some stuff to do. Yeah, thank you, Grave. Appreciate that. Perfect. We'll use that link for sure. And then we found our blue. I still think it was correct to lead with the... It's funny, we have our green and blue, but if I play the goblin, we're actually 2 turns away from any of this stuff. I still think that's correct. Maybe we'll draw a blue or a green card that we can cast next turn. We got to start with the goblin. Yes. If you want me to sign any of your singles, you can include that note as well, and I'd be happy to do that. Okay. Thank you, Coax. Appreciate it. We did not find something to cast, unfortunately. And we can't even pump the goblin to get through the oligarch, so we don't even have an attack. If I'd known they were going to drop oligarch specifically, I definitely would have set up a engineer or growth spiral this turn. Because I wanted to attack, Mark. I mean, look. You got to take it step by step, man. Turn 1, it was correct to play the gate. We want to play our gate ETB tapped. Then turn 2, we're either playing lands to set up to growth spiral and engineer, or playing lands to play out an actual threat. At the time, our opponent's board was 100% empty, so I liked that play. Yeah, but a fistful of green and blue cards that aren't doing anything. Like, they're not... Dropping these wasn't going to do anything. Dropping this would. These help us with the long game, drawing cards and ramping out and everything. But this is the thing that our deck does of relevance early. And we may just have to say no blocks here and actually sit back and try and trade with the officer. And now we go engineer, hope it survives, and the next turn we get double growth spiral. See, I mean, landing the goblin allows us to do something super relevant here. We get to trade with this. I mean, the idea was we would be attacking them, but basically building a board seemed really important to me there, as opposed to setting up to get the stuff we can't really, that don't really affect the board online a little bit sooner. That's what I was thinking. Looks like a combat trick to save the officer. All right, they're going for kill the soul ring. I'm down with that. We're going to growth spiral anyway. And we even get to follow with Thrash with a threat. Well, then we'll make a threat here over Thrash. I'm going to growth spiral. We get to play the gate, and maybe we find something that allows us to have a better attack here. Final payment is not castable for us yet. And I don't want to make that trade, so we're going to say no attacks and maybe have final payment up for next turn. Potential blowouts there. Because the gate allows us to gain more life. And now, yeah, now we can attack and angel, and we should be in pretty good shape. This is scary, though. But we can race it. Like, one of the things about, well, racing is a little bit more difficult with the Sentinel's Mark coming down here. But at some point, we can final payment and kill their single attacker mid-attack. And that should help a lot. With the race. And Ram is going to be a 5/5, which is currently enough to stop that. I guess we go ahead and attack with everything. Final payment if they double block and take the 5. And then we have Ram on the backside, and if they don't double block, we have final payment for our next turn. That's my thinking. I'm going to do that. And if they try to kill, we get final payment for 5 life discount if they have a kill spell. So they have one of their own. They're going for the Ram. We're going to do it. And yeah, we'll take out Grandma and give up the ram to do so. It's gonna be tight. Right now they can't activate IGI, which is always important. 8. Virtual 7. They can't activate this. 6, 5, 4, 3 if they play another creature, 2 if they play 2 other creatures, but not dead. So then we keep attacking. Gate doesn't help the angel, and it gets Colossus back and enables a sneak to get in, so I'm just going to save it in hand. Yeah, Exaltation is worse when they're chumping, so if they're chumping... ooh, that was a great sequence for them. And if they draw land, we just did. And we can't threaten them with lethal, unfortunately. But we can threaten to launch the creeper if they attack with both, so we will send in the 4/4. And now we kind of need to figure out how to win next turn. Or, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we don't have to. If they don't... This is tough. This is tight. If they play a land, obviously we're just dead. But we're hoping they don't have a basic land to play. I mean, they don't have a basic land to play, but that is rough. I'm not sure what gets out of this now. We are facing the killer Orzhov deck, basically. This is amazing. I mean, look at this. I'd say our chances in this matchup are low. But I'm thrilled already. We got Prophet. We got 4X. We're closing in on 4X Mythics. It's been a great day. They still don't show the 6th land, so we're still just not straight up dead either, right? Alright. Turns out 12 Thralls is enough. If you draft 12 Thralls, I can't beat you. Alright. Caster Kaya package could be a consideration here. Daggercaster doesn't seem quite as good as it did in the other matchup. Deface. What were they defending? Or what artifact were we trying to get? I don't understand the deface suggestion. Maybe they had an artifact I don't remember. Thought Collapse. Our mana's too rough for me to want to run Thought Collapse, I think. I'm gonna do Kaya. Tap a creature without flying. They have too much flying. I think I like running Kaya. And yeah, Coax, you're done here. Thank you for your time. We'll be in touch. I'm going to cut a single spiral. Save the engineer. Yeah. Yeah. A little overgated, but I'll take it. And then we'll get green down, or sorry, blue down, and then green down, so that our core colors are covered. I guess we'll do Plaza. We're as gatey as we can get here. Look, Coax, I'm a dad too, but you're pushing it. You're pushing it. Let's spiral. I guess we can spiral at instant, but there's no... I guess, yeah, we can just do gate and then spiral at instant speed. Just payment or slime bind. Sorry for the noise, but I'm not sure which spell we want to use here. What do we have coming up? Nothing coming up to attack with, so I'm gonna slime bind here. And wanted to use this for removal, but I can just drop the forest and we can start threatening. I think they'll have good answers for it, but since we have another removal spell here, I'm gonna threat. I'm gonna threat. Not 100% sure this is right. I hate using up removal spells, but we don't have any threats, so we had one threat. We had exactly one threat. So, Oligarch probably gonna chump this dude. Let's see what Shimmer shows us. Gatebreaker Ram, Shark to Crab. Which one do we want? Probably the Ram. We just have so many gates. I should have done it with this and this. No, I guess I couldn't have. That I did what I had to do. Just trying to figure out growth spiral versus... I guess there's nothing else to do. Okay. Around this one, and we'll spiral at the end of their turn. Funny. What did I kill it with such that it's doing that, I wonder? It was slime bound, right? Weird. Ooh, not that one. Oh, shoot. I was trying to unselect it. Maybe I was supposed to hit the left button or something. I don't think it looks like it's not going to matter, but I was intending to play the Ram there. We will play Ram here and have final payment up. Worth going for a 2-for-1 here on Officer Oligarch? Probably, because this ram's going to get huge. I bet if I had right-clicked, I could have unselected that land. Like, see, because here it is selected, and then right-click, put it back. Yeah, that's what it would have done it. Yeah, I will... it's like kind of a 1.5 for 1 here to final payment. It's a lot. It's 3 life, or 5 life is actually a lot. Actually, I'm going to say no attack and get a little more defensive here. Rather than try and get our value on final payment as a 2-for-1 on a double block, I think we probably need to use it on a Griffin, and probably you need to use it in response to something like removal here. Interesting. Well, now we kind of have to. Spider's nice. Follow. They may have... If they have a basic land, we're just dead, which may be what they're playing to. Again, this was a spectacular Orzhov deck across the way. Like, this Griffin is like the worst card they've played. Zeal, I guess, would be the worst card they've played. But not many weak cards from Oppo's deck. Now, if they are out of land, we have a chance. If they have land, we're just dead on board. They have a basic land here. Well, forced block, but we have 11 power of trample, and they only have 2 power of blocking, so I think we just got there. How about it? I'll take it. I was not expecting to win this match. I'm happy to snag a game. We'll see if we can come up with another one. That was tight. We needed them to be out of lands, and they were, so lucky us. Now can we be lucky enough to make it through? And we will run a Daggercaster, and I will cut this Engineer for it. Man, could we 5-0 with this thing? Oppo mold a 4, and we just curve out gate style? How about that? That is not what we drew up. We're going to mulligan this, and instead we'll be the mulliganers. But we get to keep this. That's a fine start. And they mulliganed as well. I like the slime bind against them. I'm going to keep it. Do we want Goblin? I guess we can play Forest, and it gives us the most things we can play from here, depending on what we draw. I guess there's no way to draw a blue-green that we want to play. No blocking here. If we draw an island, we can think about slime binding. Ooh, but I will just... We get to Plaza. Almost want to offer the Goblin now with the Ram here. Let him have the 1/1. We can admonition the token later if we need to. Yeah, with the RAM, I think I'm going to go ahead and offer this trade. It's not great for us, and hindsight 2020, if I'd known that we were going to draw the RAM, I think I would have just traded on the block there. But next turn should be good. And we're not way behind or anything. We have admonition next turn. We have a lot of good stuff. As long as they don't remove the RAM, we have a reasonable spot here. I should spiral now if we're going to spiral in case we have another land to play. And I am going to do that for that reason. Not just another land, another gate specifically to make the RAM bigger. And we need to dig. We do need to find more land. With Collision Colossus, we can go for an extra 4 on the attack, but we kind of do a 3-point swing in the race if we get the Syndicate Messenger, or even bigger. If the Syndicate, we'll let him. Certainly, we have an instant capability here, so we'll decide what we want to do. If it's only attacking for 3, maybe we let it go. But yeah, adding another creature makes it a bigger threat. So I'm inclined to want a collision here. Great, we can play the gate. This threatens a 5/5 RAM. Now if they want to try and trade with it, they got to put everything on it. I don't think they will. And we can set up... We have both... do we have both? We have... Do not have both. Because we need this for blue, and... I was trying to see if we could final payment and slime bind, but we can't. So we might want to admonition here. But actually, I think we just slime bind the Griffin. We'll let them drop some other creature, try to make the Griffin really big, and then we can bind the Griffin and now like slime bind and payment the Thrall maybe? Gate Colossus seems useful. But maybe we start with ram attack and see what they want to do. Three, 4, 5, 6. If they played like 2 creatures, we could just be dead. Yeah, I like admonition payment as the plays here for sure. So let's go. Let's start with the admonition, bouncing one of the Thralls. Not one of the Thralls, one of the tokens, is what I meant to say. I could save this to help the Gate Colossus get back, but I don't think we even have time for that. We just want a bigger RAM. Now I'm disappointed because they should be at 7. Because if we had figured out our I changed my line mid-turn. If we'd stuck with this line from the beginning, I would have done this before combat, and we'd had a 6/6 RAM. But I still like where we're at, especially given how powerful Oppo's deck is. Interesting. So they're at 8. We have a 6/6. If we go to 3, we have 1 turn to kill them. If we go to 3, or if we could go to 2. We could take this and go to 2. But then what are we doing? We're trying to like draw removal and kill 2 things, but then they're still not dead. Really what I'm trying to decide here is whether we pay 5 or just give up the ram. And I think we give up the ram. We give up the ram because we now can cast Colossus and win next turn. Well, let's see. Shoot, I guess we don't just win because of the... Maybe I can actually play the Shark to Crab here. Is that better? Either way, they untap and win. Let's see how they... 8, 7, 6. 8. 8. So we're at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If they don't draw a creature, we lose. If they draw a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if they draw a 1-drop creature, actually, I don't think. Oh, sack the Slimebind. Yeah, too late. Good idea on that. But well, no, we don't have to, because we're not dead. It's just that we don't. They gain a life, so the Colossus isn't lethal. I guess we do this. One plus 3 plus 4. Where are you getting 3 from? It's other creatures, right? Oh, creatures. Oh, it was a 3/3 already. Sorry, never mind. I was thinking it was a 2. I thought it was other creatures. But that worked. Okay, so we're not dead. And now we get Colossus and Wayfinder, or... Wayfinder and Crab. If we Crab, next turn... Six, 5, 4. Now I think we have to Colossus and Wayfinder, so we'll start with the Wayfinder. So then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, but we can't get multiples. Like we need 8 to be able to do that Crab and activate, and we're nowhere close to 8. Whereas Gate keeps us, at least gives us a tool for getting our Colossus back. Not dead yet. Oh, yeah, I could have failed to find that. Yeah, I should have done that. I was thinking I was kind of compelled to, but I should have failed to find. We could have, if we had like, if we found our Skewer the Critics or something on top, we could just win from here. So definite, I would even say punt to not fail to find on Wayfinder. We really needed to treat that as a scry and scry everything to the bottom that didn't help us immediately. So... we at least get Force Block on a Wayfinder. That's not bad. No, can't attack all, because we don't have the spider back to block, and they attack as a 2/2, we go to 4, and then they sack this and kill us. We need the spider blocking. Oh, they have to block everything. That's true. Yeah, I could have swung out. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure it changes much. I guess it means removal is a winner for them now, where it wasn't before. So that's too bad. But let's see if we'll save this still. See if we'll find out here if it costs us. I was just thinking so defensively with this spider, like it was the thing that was keeping us alive, so I really didn't stop to think about whether or not we could attack with it. So that was my mistake. They slow roll us here? What do you got, Oppo? Yeah, how about that? So, lost a match on that mistake. Oh, they could have sacked Inheritance, not have to chump. Yeah, so maybe it didn't matter. Still should have thought about it. Like, in spots like that, whether or not that cost me the win, whether or not that cost me the win, my lesson as a player and the thing that I, 25 years later, am still trying to build on. And, you know, you take shortcuts to reduce your cognitive load, and then the risk is that the shortcut you took kept you from looking at an important line. So that's kind of what happened there, right? It's Coax is like, nah, it wouldn't have made a difference, but it still makes a difference to me because I can recognize that I didn't even consider attacking with the spider. So whether the conclusion was, looks like it doesn't make a difference, or, looks like it'll save the game, the big fail is not even having considered it. And yeah, Viking, it's a problem everybody has because it's a conflict between the heuristics and shortcuts you need to have to not collapse from mental exhaustion every time you play a game of Magic, but finding the time to override those defaults is like, it's the difference between me and Luis, you know, like it's the difference between me and the best. And it's helpful for me every time I'm reminded of that. Like, what's the gap between me and a Hall of Famer? Because I'm a very good Magic player, but I'm not among the best, and I love it when I find the little reasons why, even if in this case it represents a match loss. So let's try and find a match win. This is our last match of the day. Thank you, Oni, for 85 for the close game. Appreciate that a lot. That one was pretty good. Should I put game 3 as a separate one? I don't know. It was pretty good. It wasn't amazing. It was a great game, I guess. Right on, Oni. Thank you. Kind of a muddled mess with no green, but we'll keep this. We'll find green and then it'll be great. In the meantime, we do have a skewer to survive upon. Colossus looking good for us. If we can draw a steady supply of lands. Gates obviously better, but we take land of any kind. Simic or Gate. Yeah, we'll skewer that as we wait for things to do. At least it's land. The number of gates makes me want to save Incongruity for if they have a Colossus of their own. But I'm going to incubate here. I think we need to take a look. Maybe find some action. Mammoth Spider doesn't seem too bad against what Oppo is showing. And makes me want to save this collision now. Top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We have the top 24 cards contain like eight green sources, I think. So we're like 1 and 3 to draw a green source at any given pull here. Yeah, I can kill the flyer with collision, but the Mammoth Spider is going to stall with the Airmunculus, so I'm going to try to let the Mammoth Spider be our removal here. Although they did not play anything. All of our removal, we can't do anything except cast instant speed removal, so we'll at least get to send it through their turn. Alright, I'll do it now. We also have final payment in case of another important threat. We could final payment that, but I think I'll wait till they invest in it. We'll give them a spider. If they want to quench the spider, they can. No problem. We got another one of those, and way more important things to keep from being quenched. Well, Spider does stop the Ceratok, so let's just play that. I was thinking of Growth Spiral, but Spider's a nice stabilization play on this board, and Oppo missed a land drop, so they seem to be short. This screams of combat trick. If it's the 3/3, everything dies. If it's the 1/1, at least the Spider trades with the hybrid. We could take 6 here and wait to final payment in response to the trick next turn. I actually think I like that. We got final payment that right now is going to cost us 5 life anyway. So let's take the 5 life payment effectively there and then have a response next turn. Because I am going to Growth Spiral here for sure. If they want a Frilled Mystic, the Growth Spiral, okay. Boy, maybe we need to... is it Frilled Mystic? What's going on over there? I'm going to drop the Gravelhide and see if they care. At least if they have Frilled Mystic, the 3/5 continues to be a good play against that as well. Alright, Thought Collapse much better, obviously. It doesn't leave a body. And now we have the play we wanted, which is we'll go ahead and block with the Mammoth Spider and try to respond to... Alright, this is a little bit radical, but it stops him from drawing a card. And I don't think we can afford to just take 6 here and be healthy. Although we do get the Angel next turn. Still, I'm going to sacrifice a creature, even though it bounces to our hand. I think this puts us too low on life. And it stops them from drawing. and keeps them with a 2/2, and they're having trouble finding land, so this hybrid is not going to be a threat for us. And then we get to drop like Colossus and Angel and try and recover on that front. So let's get a Colossus down while they don't have counter magic. Up. And we'll see if we can get there in time now with this Colossus. None of that blocks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we knew 100% we had a land on top, we could do this and cast the Angel, but we don't. So I'm going to start with the Colossus attack and then probably just drop Angel. What's this about? They showed that combat trick stuff before. I don't think we're dead to a combat trick, so I'm going to say no blocks. Now we could be dead to something like Colossus. So I'm going to just send in the Colossus here, I think. Does that make sense? Am I being too cautious? They are about to make this a 6/6, which is part of it. Yeah, I'm only going to attack with Colossus. And then we have Ram as the biggest thing, right? As a 4/4. I guess this is a... Oh, I tried to bring it back. I was going to make this and have it be able to fly. That seems better. But so be it. Chili B.
All right, everyone. Chill.
Still super choked on green, which is impacting us quite a bit. If we... I guess we play Creeper, because then we can, yeah, we can put 2 in the air. Well, we didn't know they had the Chillbringer, right? So... we can attack with the Ram and force something to trade. Yeah, let's at least force this. I think this is correct. Get rid of one of the flyers. Too bad we didn't find another gate. Could take out 2 of these. Oh, they would have blocked differently in that case. Another Chili Bee!
All right, everyone. Chill.
On that one attack right there, it wasn't to me. But maybe it's scarier in the long run. Oh, too late. You're a little bit late, Gate. Where were you last turn? Shark to Crab. Yeah, they don't have the adapt mana right now. That was also part of it. But no, we expect them to get there. If they adapt, they have nothing else for the turn. So we survive. Well, if we grow Spiral and we don't get green, then we can't play the Shark to Crab. That's why I'm not just running that out there. And I think we need the Shark to Crab. So I'm going to play that. The trouble is it could leave us dead to... I'm going to let this time out. We've had them red for a combat trick, which is the problem. I feel like they're on Collision Colossus. And Collision Colossus, if we play Shark to Crab, we're dead. Because they get to attack in the air and make one of these 2/7 power. So, given that, I actually am going to Growth Spiral. We found that anyway. And I'm going to save raising up, flying with the Creeper. Actually, we'll just attack with the Creeper here. That'll tell... Yeah, we'll attack with the Creeper. And that allows us to Shark to Crab, right? No, because they still get to do it that way. Oh, darn it. I just screwed that up. Now we just lose to the spell I'm afraid they have. What was I thinking? Oh, Magic is complicated. My brain hurts. So I think we're dead because my read the whole time has been that they have Collision Colossus. So I'm expecting to die to that here. But if they don't have it, we have a chance. Yeah, that's true. They played like they had a trick when they only had Simic mana. So maybe it's just +3/+3 and we're not dead. That's a good call. Maybe they don't have it. But obviously, we do what we can here. But I think it's so it might be the +3/+3 trick. That's a good call, Cat. And they agree. Wow, I feel like I really was clumsy with the end of that game, and we dodged... we dodged my incompetence there a little bit. So, Simic, but with a little Teamery splash. Swirling Torrent could set him back some. I don't generally like this card, but Simic puts so much into their creatures that this actually does do some decent tempoing. Let me put that like this here, like maybe that. Yeah, or the Scuttle Gator could be pretty annoying. Let's try this. I'm going to try the bounce. I don't often play it, but Simic seems like the place to play. Simic seems like where that card could be reasonable. Yeah, with Shimmer we can keep this. We have a turn 2 Shimmer no matter what. And that's a nice land to see. We want green land, but any land is good land. All right, we even get green land now, and do we even play it? Yes, I want to play the Shimmer this turn, so we'll do this. Still want more land and still want green. I'm going to take Forest. No Quench. They showed us Quench last time, and nope. Oh no, they didn't have Quench mana. Never mind, right? Or did they? No, they did. Right? They played a Gate. Interesting. Ooh, that's going to be good. We gotta try and... I'm going to play another Forest here and just cast Threat, and we'll try and race this card draw engine here. Because we're not beating that over a long game. Yeah, that sucked, but... So it goes, we'll do this. Next turn we have Mammoth Spider or Archway. Well, we won't play Archway, we'll wait for the other gate to be down. So next turn we'll do gate, Mammoth Spider, and then follow with the Angel after that. The Spider might get countered anyway. Sure seems like it. They've got 5 cards, a ton of mana, and a Guardian Project, and they've decided not to do anything. Smells like... In fact, it's so frilled mysticky, I almost don't even want to do anything. I'm going to pass. That's so suspicious. If they have an instant... Yeah, okay. There you go. I'd love to see him play a big flyer right here that we could collision. Yes, I should have pumped my goblin, but didn't have that line until the end of the turn. Oh, got a doorbell. Wonder who's here. Might just be a package or something. Let me go check on that. One sec. Just a delivery. Okay, sorry, where are we? Are we angeling? Yes, we are angeling. No, they got more Frilled Mystic showing. Let's go for another Mammoth Spider, though. Let's try Mammoth Spider first. No, let's play this. Then this and this for a Mammoth Spider. Okay. We thought that was going to happen. That's okay. Feels like this was a better card, so I traded off for it. It's possible we were just supposed to take that and try to have additional threats. That's a big boy. But we've got... I mean, if they have another Frilled Mystic, we'll go on to game 3, but we gotta try. We could have gone with Gravelhide and Spider, I suppose.
All right, everyone, chill.
Trouble is, I only want to put the Gate Colossus back. We could bounce our own Angel, and then that would get us more life. That could be something that matters. But I think we offer the Gravel Hide here for starters. Interesting. We could Colossus here and get 4 damage through, getting him to 8. Not sure how that helps us more than just eventually getting rid of the Chillbringer. Does it? It doesn't also. If we do this and pump, it lives. Maybe that's worth it. Yeah, let's pump in Colossus. Actually, I think that's worth it. Well, let's see if this Colossus happens first, shall we? Oh, can we pump? Yeah, it's green to pump, so we'll give it a try. I think it's a lot of damage, and we are just trying to race here. Yeah, I could pump twice, too. Maybe pumping twice and not spending... But this gives us trample, so that's cool. All right, that wasn't amazing, but they did use they used tower defense, and we still have Swirling Torrent, so we can buy some time here. Oh my god, now that they keep doing that.
All right, everyone, chill.
Well, this is post-board, and I think we ended up beating them last time with flyers, didn't we? Anyway, maybe it was probably just a reaction to the first game to bring that in, I think. I don't know. Now we have Critic and Torrent, and we at least want to put, like... We can reset these. Kind of dead here. Looking to game 3. I swear I clicked them both. Neither of them registered. We'll put this on. It doesn't really matter. Oppo ends up with both of them in hand next turn, regardless of how we choose. Yeah, I was thinking about returning the Angel. To gain more life, but I don't think this is going to be about gaining life. It's going to be about whether or not we can race. And frankly, the Rx is going to make that awfully tough. I mean, they can charge in for a pretty big hit right here. I'm kind of playing spells now. I really don't know what our path to victory is. I'm kind of thinking ahead to game 3. I suppose I should not do that. That's my sign that I'm not... I've given up and I'm not really considering how to win at this point. Interesting. I don't think it's going to matter here. We do get in for 3 in the air, so they're at a virtual 6, but they can block the Gravel Hide. We're forced to chump with the Colossus and then take the other stuff, so yeah, we can't win from here. I didn't like the Torrent. It had the same problems it always does, which is just like, is it really doing enough? Probably better off with a Scuttlegator that can adapt at least and become something bigger than a Colossus, you know? Kind of like that instead. All right. Shot out to 4 wins, and then ran into some trouble, seeing if we can close out with a 5 win. I don't think we've had one of those in a while, so it'd be nice. Yeah, we'll keep this. Not really. I don't think... If it doesn't exile it, it's not really an answer to Colossus in my mind. It's a delay. I should have led with the island, because we could draw... no, I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking about that draw and play a land spell, but we needed to draw 2 things for that to be relevant. Basic land of any kind off the top would be wonderful. Would allow us to drop our sneak. Really want to get some presents here before they get their Frilled Mystic positioned. Okay, great. A single creature answer to this situation is answered by this admonition, giving us a free sneak. Alright, unfortunate. And we're going to play the gate even though it frees up the sneak next turn. We got to play our lands. If they show Forest here and have Frilled Mystic mana, we just need to start playing around that. We have Admonition, so yeah, when they pass with their... Oh, maybe they don't have Frilled. Anyway, that's great for us because we do exactly what we wanted. Even get a gate. Really want to save that for the sneak. Well, let's see. Maybe the sneak will find us another land to play here. That'd be great. How about a forest? Plain old forest. At least it's a gate. We can play this and get our green, and then we have a gate to make the sneak unblockable next turn, and if we can find our Colossus, it's getting cheaper by the second. Mungi is back. That shows... That's pretty quenchy. So I'm going to give him we're going to cast the Engineer. That really sets up everything for next turn, too. If we've played this, then we can't... I guess I'm going to play this gate, then, so that we have... Engineered mana, and we will threaten with the Goblin. If they want to block the Goblin, we'll take a turn off to try and kill it. Kill the Aeromunculus. Hey, Rain. We're doing all right. Doing all right. And we're going to Engineer here, playing around Quench. Not only does it play around Quench here, it helps us play around Quench the rest of the game, as basically the Engineer sits here and counters a Quench. You know, pays for a Quench all by itself, so... Oh, boy. Oppo's had all the Chillbringers. Engineer going down. Oh, no, Gateway Sneak, okay. Maybe we'll draw a land and we can save that Plaza for another turn. And I love that they're at least tapped out. We can even Slimebind here. Slimebind the Aeromunculus. Slimebind the Chillbringer. If we Slimebind the Chillbringer, they can make a 3/4 Aeromunculus, whereas a 3/3. I'm going to go ahead and slime Munculus. Cool, we did find another gate. It's no, except we can't get the sneak through this turn. I mean, I don't care if they want to trade. I like setting up for the long one. They get a better creature in the 1 turn window, but not in the long term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana to spend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could do that. Let's not if we don't find more land. So I guess we go Plaza and Shark Crab to get more green out. And then I guess I should have Wayfindered first, though. We'll do it now. All right, we'll take that. Yeah, I should have. That was a little bit of a sloppy turn. There might have been an attack we had there that I could have bluffed properly with better thinking. But trying to play quickly and
All right, everyone, chill.
has its costs. One, two, three, four. Excuse me. We don't have activate Shark to Crab and oh, we do because of Engineer. Okay, so given that. A crab, a Chillbringer, and then attack like this. No, I want the gates for the sneak. I'm cool with getting more gates for free cards. That was my thinking. Maybe I have a faster win or something if I don't do that, but that was my thinking. And we're going to save these gates for that purpose. Now we're going to attack with everything. If they want to eat one of these goobers instead of trade with the Shark to Crab, more power to them. I should have not let auto tap keep me from being able to thrash. That was a mistake, but we're not going to thrash until our turn anyway, I don't think. That's fair, Cat. Lands are good, though. I like drawing cards. I just can't help myself, I guess. 4 mana, do nothing indeed. Feel like they're going to have a Frilly Mystic available for us. But let's attack. Yeah, let's gate first for sure. And then swing. I'm just trying to figure... Yeah, I don't want to try it. I feel like they probably have something, and we want to save our thrash for whatever they do here. Okay, they're going for that. I'm going to say... Okay. And Growth Spiral could give them something to Mystic, but they can Mystic anyway. I'll just wait. The thing is, if we Growth Spiral, we might find something here. No, I'll do it. I'm going to do it, because we might find something we want to cast, so let's do it. Make him have the Mystic. Interesting. That's got to be that they don't have counter magic then, right? What? Why wouldn't they just counter that? They think something better was coming here? Must be. Well, I'm going to thrash while shields are down. And hopefully gate plus sneak is enough. Let's see if they find another chilly bee and if they sense the need to hold down that gate. That gateway sneak, that I mean. Huzzah! We did it, gang! Nice. I was already feeling good this morning. A lot of fun stuff happening in my world, and we got there with a 5-0. So let's see. We will count all of this, all these prize packs, plus the one we earned right there, as part of our grind. So this is going to be gems and mythics. Gems and mythics. Two gems. Oh, wild cards, I suppose, are still a possibility. Three. There's a mythic. All right, so we ground an extra 100? Extra 100 on the prizes. This is a fun result to enter.